Josh.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Good.
Phil. There we go.
Good to see you. Brandon Staley and the Saints defense. What are you seeing?
Yeah, Coach Staley does a great job. He's done a great job ever since he kind of took some, obviously, the stuff from Vic, and he's kind of he's got his own flavor of things he does schematically. Certainly in their first year, so they're kind of getting familiar with their personnel and the fit. They're playing really well in a lot of phases. So physical front, very tough, big guys on the edge. 90s really becoming a really good player inside in all three downs. The linebackers certainly are very active, instinctive. 56 and 94. Between the two of them, they got way more experience than I do in the National Football League. So those two guys seem to know when things are happening, when they're coming. You can tell how much communication that they're involved in on the defense. So secondaries, tight coverage, good disguise, challenge you with pressures on third down. So they do a great job, always have. And this group is a group that we're certainly getting familiar with, and excited for the opportunity to go play another game on the road.
What does it mean to an offense to lose a guy like Antonio Gibson?
Gibby's certainly been involved in a lot of different things for us. Caught the ball out of the backfield, made a lot of good plays in the running game. Certainly the big return down in Miami. So, whenever a guy gets injured, never know exactly how long they're going to be out and all the rest of it. But, certainly we're trying to prepare every guy to have an opportunity to play when it's his turn. So, we'll see how all that, plays out here. But, you hate it for any of the players. They work so hard to put themselves in position to have a great season. And any guy goes down with any injury, big or small, it's tough. It's tough for them, most importantly.
Josh, what did you learn about Drake maybe in that second half, 2 minutes in the drill and game winner, and what you saw from him?
I thought it just, our group continues to try to work hard to be able to handle, whatever gets thrown our way, and I think Coach Vrabel's done a great job of putting those positions in front of us in practice. And, it's just one of those scenarios where your group responds together to adversity, whether it's home or on the road. You're going to need to do that over and over and over again in the National Football League. And so I think we've done that a few times this year. I think we've learned a lot about, a lot of things. We're certain things we could do to help us avoid being in situations that are a little tighter. But, they're all learning experiences for us. And excited to have 2 more good days of practice here, get ready to go down and play the Saints.
Josh, we've asked you a lot about Drake, obviously, impact on the offense, his development. But for you personally, and I know this sounds probably wildly premature, but would you, understand how bright his future is, be content coaching him here for the rest of your career? Or do you hope to someday, somewhere, be a head coach again?
I love living in New England. It's the short of it. No, hey, look, I just try to focus on now. Really enjoying coaching for Mike and the staff and the guys we have here in this organization. And I would be surprising if I moved my kids out of Westwood. So come hell or high water. I don't know if I'll be here or not, but that is what it is.
Josh, I was listening to an interview with Kurt Warner, and while he praised Drake, he also thought there was a little too much backyard football. How do you feel about that?
Well, when it works, it's, look, players make plays. And sometimes the design of the offense, either isn't good enough on a certain play and then a player extends it and makes a play, or the defense does something to, stop us from doing what we would like to do initially, and then a player makes a play, and I think that happens a lot in football. It just gets talked about a lot more when it's the quarterback, but there's, times where there's a stunt in pass protection and we block it, but we don't block it the way that we would have drawn it up in practice necessarily, but we got it blocked, and nobody really discusses that a whole lot. Or a receiver's running a route and they try to play a certain coverage and stop him from really doing it the way that we wanted to do it. So he improvises a little bit and creates an opportunity for himself and the team. I think when the quarterbacks do it, and they do it at the right times, certainly it's very helpful. Doesn't always end in a positive play, but hopefully what it does is it ends in a play that either, doesn't hurt us, or we have an opportunity to extend the drive. And I thought he made a few good decisions to do that the other night and made some plays out of it. And there's going to be times where we just got to throw the ball away, which he's done that plenty of times, this year when that's happened as well.
What's the coaching point on you're getting dragged down by a 320-pound defensive line? And you might not even be able to pick your head up and throw.
Yeah. It was again, the players make all the plays, and it's fun to see them make plays at any point in time. I'm excited to see them make some plays in practice today.
Drake's been one of the most productive passers in the league on intermediate throws specifically. I'm wondering what is it about his skill set that allows him to thrive in that area of the field, and is that common for a young quarterback to be so productive there?
I think that's a team thing. I really do. I don't think you have success throwing the ball without, the offensive line pass protecting, the backs blocking blitzers, the skill players running the proper routes at the right depth and being where they're supposed to be. And then the skill players working on their timing and the precision of the passing game in general. So I look at all those things kind of like a team thing. I know they attribute it to one person because he throws the ball, but doing anything in football is really a product of 11 people. And so if we throw the ball, well or not well, there's probably things that 11 guys had to do with that. So just continue to try to improve. I think we certainly have made some progress, but we have I think a lot of room to grow.
Josh,
What do you see from the
you're-
run game? The run game, what do you see there, and how do you guys break off some bigger runs?
Yeah, I don't think there's any shortcut to that. I know it's not for lack of effort on anybody's part. I think you just got to keep working at it. It's that sometimes is a little bit of a process, that comes behind the passing game at times. There's time on task, time in pads, things like that we're continuing to try to work on, and we'll be doing it again today, So I think patience is important in that regard, and not abandoning things and looking for one answer here or there. I think we got to stick with our details, our techniques, our fundamentals, and continue to get better at them, and then finish. And I think we've seen some really good examples of us finishing blocks. If you get a few more of those on a certain play here or there, it changes the outcome of the perception of what you're doing in the running game. So just stay patient with it, keep grinding away, keep working at it, keep coaching the details, techniques, and fundamentals, and let the guys continue to come on in that area of our offense.
I know some coaches believe that teams declare who they are. You find out your identity come late October. We're a couple weeks away from that. But specific to your offense, do you feel like you are close to understanding the best way you guys want to play and your identity?
I think we try to go into each week and give ourselves an opportunity to win. Again, it can't be the same every week. Every team's different. This team is completely different than the team we played last week. And the challenges that the Saints provide us are unique to them, and what they do schematically, and their players are different. So I think we have to be able to adapt what we do, to try to fit our personnel most importantly, but also to play against somebody else's players and scheme, which is always the challenge. So I like where we're headed. I love the way our players come into work every day and try to grind away at it and get it down by Sunday. And we'll continue to do that.
Josh, what was it like to see Ramondre Stevenson bounce back?
Say it again.
What was it like to see Ramondre Stevenson bounce back after the early fumble, but then to go on and score 2 touchdowns?
Love it. Mondre does a lot of great things to help our team, and a lot of things that people don't necessarily talk about, and we want everybody to protect the ball. Nobody will not say that, but there's a lot of things that he does. He's blitz pickup, chips the defensive ends a whole lot, is where he's supposed to be in the passing game. is really dependable in a lot of areas for us and does a lot of things, plays a lot of roles, and he's a great teammate. So, it's our job to continue to work with all our players. We all make mistakes. We're all human, and all of us do things that we wish we didn't do, and nobody wants to do better than he does. And so to continue to have faith in him, I think that's really important. We trust all our guys that are out there. We believe in them, and I love the kid. Yep, thank you.
Thanks.